Hello, my name is Amanda Bullion, and I was going to show y'all how to make my no-bake oatmeal cookies or preacher cookies. I've had several people ask me to show them or to give them the recipe, and I've had people to say that they've had problems with on certain days how to get them to form. I've never had trouble with getting them to form no matter what day it is. So I'd like to show you how to do them, and I have two different ways. You can either do it one way or double it. So here's the first recipe, and the top part is written out because the bottom part is my old recipe. That's what I learned off of. That is a very old recipe. I was 10 when I started learning off of it. So this is the one you would do if you just wanted one batch. It's not very big. Okay, this one is the one I'm going to make today, and because I am going to someone's house, and you can see this is all doubled on everything for the recipe. Okay, let's get started. Okay, before you get started, usually I will go ahead and get my ingredients out. I'll go ahead and have my pot ready, and I'll have my oatmeal ready for the end part. You want your stick of butter, your cocoa. I get this out and ready. Is your peanut butter for the end. You don't want coffee. That's just for me to drink later. Your milk and your sugar. I go ahead and measure that out so I don't have to worry about it. Alright, and then go ahead and have this ready to put your cookies on. Alright, and then go ahead and get your sugar, put it on in. And I really like these measuring cups from Walmart, because I don't know if you can tell. Let me get that on the black part. It has little tablespoons and little measuring section down at the bottom, so you can actually do like the Hershey cocoa at the bottom and not have to dirty up more dishes. So no worries there. So I won't have to use this cup at the end. I can use my sugar cup and not have to worry about it. Alright. So this is why I like doubling it. Instead of having to worry about cutting up the butter, all I have to do is throw the whole thing in. No measurement, no worries. And my milk. Oh, and I didn't show you which kind. I used my 2%. You can use a different kind if you want to. You can use whole. You can use skim. I haven't really noticed anything that will be different on that. Okay, go ahead and measure up to 1/4 of a cup of the cocoa. And usually I just use my spoon, and that way I don't make a huge mess with my cocoa. And usually I use 2 hands, but with having to hold a camera, that kind of makes it a little harder to do, but that's okay. We'll make do with what we have here. Now you can, it is not going to hurt this recipe to do a little extra. I'm sorry, tapping it makes it go down a little further, and you can kind of make sure of what you got. You can also use the spoon to kind of break up these big chunks to make sure that it's going to settle right. And I do have a little too much, but that's okay. This is the fun thing about measuring it out right now. You can make sure you have what you need. You can't go back, but you can, once you have it in the pot, but you can go back when you have it in the measuring cup. Once it's in here, you can't do that. It's always better to double check before you put it in the pot. So I like a little extra, so I'm happy with what that is. The recipe really calls for the 4th, but that's okay. Alright, so this is all the ingredients that this is calling for in here. So I am going to put my eye on this and then wait for this to go on boil, and I will show you what that looks like when it gets to that point. And I will let it fast forward until that point. And Daniel, in a minute, can I have your help? You don't have to get dressed or anything. I'll just need you to help hold this phone while I put in the peanut butter. Now, I don't know if you noticed, I did not keep stirring. You don't have to keep stirring. Now, when you do have to keep stirring is when it starts boiling. That's when it's important to keep stirring. Once all the sugar is off the bottom, that's when I kind of stop paying attention to it constantly. I do watch it. Now, you do see a little bit of boiling right here. That does not constitute boiling. What I am talking about when I talk about boiling with this is a roaring boil, and it goes from here all the way back, and I start seeing it right here. Okay, now it's important that if you don't have a timer, you have one of these. Well, and I say a timer, I say a timer on your oven. Okay, that is getting close. I wait until it goes all the way to the edge of my pot. Okay, that is enough. Go timer 2 minutes. And see, on these you can do 2 minutes and then hit play, but I'm not going to use it, so. But keep stirring it. And what this does is it cooks the sugar to a certain point. So you really need that 2 minutes to make sure that that sugar gets to that temperature. So if it doesn't get to that temperature, then that sugar will not harden. So your cookies will not get to that point. No matter what the temperature outside is, no, if it's raining, it does not matter. The sugar will not form in the cookies. So that time on the oven matters, and the roaring boil right here matters. So you have to make sure it gets to this point right here, and you put on your timer. And I really like using the Walmart brand peanut butter, but it really doesn't matter what kind of brand peanut butter. It doesn't matter what kind of butter. And now I like the 1 minute quick oats because if you use the regular oats, it does not get the oats cooked, and you're going to have hard oats once you get to eat it. So that's the reason I do like the quick 1 minute oats. So that's the one thing I do kind of suggest is you keep to is the 1 minute quick oats from Quaker. Otherwise, you can pick and choose whatever brand you want as far as items. Now, on this, I go ahead and pull it off, turn off my timer. Daniel! And call my husband to help me out, because I cannot do the peanut butter by myself.
Yeah.
I need your help.
You got that recording?
I am. Come here. I need your help with holding the phone. Come here. Hold it. Right there. Alright, and all you do is make sure that it comes out of here and into your pot. Alright, usually I make sure I stir it real good, try to get that peanut butter melted a little bit. before I put the oatmeal in. Not by much, but just a little. And then I put my oats in and then stir. Thank you, sweetie. You can retreat. Run away! Alright, and it's already starting to thicken, which is a good sign. I'm already starting to feel resistance. Not a whole lot of resistance, but a little bit of resistance. Alright, and I'll take this over here, put me down a pot holder, and start scooping out. Alright, if you take it from over here and put it over here, now you can make it as big or as little as you want to. And if you forget to put it on the timer and they get too hard or too soft, they are just as good that way, because sometimes you get distracted and don't notice that it's boiling, or the kids come around and ask you a bunch of questions and you have to do something. It has happened to me many a time. But they are just as good the other way. Either way. They are better this way though. So, if it gets too soft, use a spoon. And a bowl. Alright. Just let these harden. And then what I usually do is just take it from right here and just do that. If you see, it's already starting to harden and form. And I can just take my fingers. It's still a little too hot though. I can take my fingers and just pull it up. And you can also put these into a 9x13 dish and let it dry, cool. And you can cut it up into squares and do it that way if you want to. And they're just as good that way. Right here is my finished product. And if you like this video, share with someone that might. And I may be back with something else that may be similar. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with this. If I want to do more, I'm not sure. Alright, well, y'all have a wonderful day, and I have enjoyed doing this. Take care. Bye.